Hello everyone, this is the Chicago election with your host Wasim Sahwel, and today we are here to talk about Gary Chico again. This episode will be part 2 of us relooking at articles and deconstructing them from both perspectives of the Gary Chico supporters and the non-supporters of Gary Chico. Today we will be looking at an article that supports Gary Chico. I am right now looking at the Chicago Sun-Times, and the person who had created this article, his name is Michael Sneed. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So yeah, after I'll be reading this article and breaking it down for you, and then after I finish this, I will be looking at both articles and seeing if either one of them says anything that may be misinformative or I guess I would say biased. Not biased. More like, I guess I'd say inflating the truth a little bit. Okay, let's get started. So, looking down this article, the first notable thing that I can see is that Michael Sneed apparently interviewed Gary Chico, as it says here. Gary Chico said to Sneed that, and I quote, "If winning the Chicago mayoral race is about momentum, I've got it," mayoral candidate Gary Chico tells Sneed. So, apparently, Sneed had actually been face to face with Gary Chico, or somehow gone in contact with Chico to say this. Now, I don't know if this is true, but if it is, this already gives a way higher credibility to Sneed than other journalists. So, let's keep going down. In this article, the next thing I see is that Gary Chico, quote unquote, says this, and I quote, "I believe the poll uptick is pulsating by my having more individual donors than any other mayoral candidate, specifically 1,300 contributions from individual donors, helping us just hit a $2.2 million contribution mark." That's actually pretty good if this is true. And he continues on saying, and I quote, "Bill Daley's money comes in huge chunks. Tony Preckwinkle has a big Bucks Union support. 87% of my donations are less than 1,000, and 400 donations have been less than $100 or less." Okay, so basically the last few paragraphs are just talking about how, or quoting how Gary Chico is gaining money for his election, and they're not really a lot, but there's just so many of it. He's gaining about 2.2 million. Okay, let's keep going down. So, the more I look down, the more I don't really see anything in this article. This is one of the few articles that says he's supporting Gary Chico, but that I could find, but it doesn't really say anything about supporting it. It just keeps talking about the statistics of, like, for example, I quote that this is what Gary Chico says. Another quote from Gary Chico that's in this article. I quote, "I'm just a kid from the South Side who doesn't have a legacy name in politics or lifetime office holder," he added. "In 2011, I got 25% of the vote in the mayoral race and started out at 3%. Unquote. So, this first chunk of the article is just talking about the amount of money Gary Chico's gotten, how much in smaller piles, and then it's just talking about his increase in votes. This kind of relates, the voting at least, kind of relates to the other article, which is talking about how Gary Chico is using. If I were to remind you all, the other article stated that Gary Chico was attempting to use himself, like saying he's Latino, to gain more votes. So maybe that's kind of related to this. I'm not really sure, but again, this article is not really talking about anything supporting Gary Chico. This is like one of the literal few articles I could find. Forgive me. Okay. Very last thing is the author asked Michael Michael Sneed asking him if is there a big commercial buy in the wings. Gary Chico says, "You bet." I'm assuming that this commercial was the one the other article was talking about him at the very end saying he was like Latino, the very last frame. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but yeah, I think this is related to that. I'm not sure. Do not take my word for it. I'm just reading what's on the article and just breaking it down for you all. Okay, so the next thing is about Ken Griffin, the billionaire, who loved advertising for former Governor Bruce Rauner on political matters. I'm reading this off the website again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's not even related to the thing. Wow. So yeah, that's literally the entire article. This is the only article I can find that's somewhat related to Gary Chico, like someone trying to support Gary Chico. And yeah, there's nothing else. I'm looking right here. There's the other one that I could probably find was no, not probably. The one that another one that I found was at www.wbez.org, and it just talks about how Gary Chico wants to build a stronger and safer Chicago. This was written by Narito Moreno. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. But yeah, do not hold this against me. This specific article was written in September 24th, 2018. And yeah, we might as well just go through it because there's very little information, or like not information. There's very little support for Gary Chico in any of these articles. Yeah, no, actually, never mind. Yeah, no, there's nothing left. There's nothing in this article actually as well. It just talks about like his goals. It doesn't say anything about anything. So I'm sorry. Okay, we'll just move on to analyzing both articles and seeing if any information conflicts or if any of this what would you call it? Any of these information makes sense or not. Okay, to wrap up part 2, we'll be, I guess, just analyzing both articles and just saying if any information, connects to each other or conflicts each other, and to make sure that, no misinformation comes through. So, the only two similarities, or two things that may have, connected the articles to each other are the commercial at the very end of the second article saying the Gary Chico was going to make a big commercial, and the suggestion that in one of the commercials that Gary Chico uses himself saying he's Latino to get more votes. And the second thing that I guess would, I don't know, information that kind of connects is how Gary Chico kept gaining so many votes. I think because from the article says that because he kept trying to show himself as a leader of the Hispanic, I think that's where majority of his votes came from. So, yeah, there's nothing really more to say about these two articles. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And the next candidate we'll be looking at, I believe, is going to be Bill Daley. So, if you want to see that, subscribe, put that bell notification. This is terrible, I know. Thank you. Goodbye.